Okie dokie, we are going now. All right, good morning, co-creators. And today I would like to continue the conversation that we had last time about single channel flirting. If you didn't see the video, I will post the link in the description on YouTube. Single channel flirting is basically teaching you to pay attention to your 5 other senses rather than just your most preferred sense. So if you're visual, you'll have a tendency to pay attention to what you see. If you are auditory, you'll have pay attention to your words or what other words that the person is saying. And if you're kinesthetic, you may pay attention to how you feel or a sense of touch, or maybe how the other person feels. So the kinesthetic people really like physical touch and tickling. And that kind of takes us into the conversation that I'd like to have about teasing and playfulness and bullying. And, you know, the short version of this is that teasing and being playful and bullying really boils down to what is this other person experiencing while you're having your experience. We all come from different families. We have different rules. You know, some families play really rough. I had a buddy of mine who has like 5 brothers. They are brutal with one another. And, you know, that's just the way that it is. The only problem is that they don't know that other people didn't grow up with 5 brothers. Some families don't tease or play at all. And I think that the part of the problem is that we just assume that whomever it is that we're talking to or interacting with, we all had the same childhood with the all having the same experiences. And that's just not true. You know, for example, I really don't like teasing. My interpretation of teasing is it's a way for somebody to be passive aggressive or a way for them to be mean. That's just my perception. And it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong, but it is my perception. So if somebody's teasing me, I will probably tell them to stop. And that's also dependent on the type of relationship that I'm in with that person. Are they a casual friend? Are they an acquaintance? Are they a close personal friend that I've spent a lot of time around? Or are they a family member? And I'm going to be referring back to that video on single channel flirting that I did last time. And I'm going to be asking you to really, really think about the last time that you had an interaction with somebody that was fun. Okay, just think about that for a second. What were you doing? What were they doing? And how did it feel? Was there a smooth back and forth transition between what you were doing and what they were doing? Was there mutual laughing? Was it fun? Okay, and just like mull that over for a second. And now I want you to like grab a hold of that, move it out of your way, you know, pick up the next frame, okay, and set that in there and think about when teasing or playfulness went wrong. Okay, maybe what you were doing, you know, in your mind and based on your experience or your references, that you were just having fun. But what was that other person doing? So think about that for a second, you know, close your little eyeballs and pull up a picture of their face. You know, are they smiling? Are they laughing? Are they frowning? What's their body position like? Are they open? Are they closed? Are they turned away from you? How are they responding? Can you feel their energy or can you hear their words? You know, were they saying stop, but you were on like a roll and couldn't hear them? Or maybe your family rules is you just keep going until somebody makes you stop. It's just the way that we do things. And like I said, it's all based on our level of playfulness and our play that's based on our personal experience, our family members, our personal friends, our sibling, and then we take those belief systems and we superimpose them on who we're playing or teasing with. Okay, so that's just a brief thought about that. I've thought about this for some time, and I want to make sure that this comes out, right. Because one of the things I'd like to talk about is, what we've got going on and stuff. And I personally haven't seen any numbers. I could probably talk to some colleagues of mine that are in this business on what is happening in the world of bullying. Has it slowed down? Has it gotten worse? I know the kids are not going to school now, but we're still really connected, by telephone and by internet. And my thought on this, on bullying, it is just like completely different. I think that I'm a little bit older and I'm a little more thoughtful about it. I just sort of get the opinion that a person that is being playful or even bullying they're non-verbally requesting a deeper connection. Now, they may not have the skills to say these words. They may not even know that these words exist. But frequently what people are trying to do while they're having fun or they're trying to interact with you is that they're trying to get to know you. They just might not know how. The other thing that's interesting about bullying is bullies frequently used to get bullied, or they have been bullied, and they're going to make darn sure that they're not going to ever be bullied again. In order to be safe and in order not to be bullied, they're going to take the tension off of themselves and they're going to put it on somebody else, and let's just kind of mull that over and think about it for a second. Maybe they feel fearful, or maybe if they feel less than, or maybe they're just plain scared or that they've been hurt. And they don't really have an accurate way of articulating those feelings. So the way that they are articulating those feelings or acting out those feelings is by making someone else either feel the way that they did so they don't have to, or that they are like doing something because that's all they know. So if you thought about this for a second, what would happen if we actually talked to the bullies and said, hey, that doesn't feel good. What you're doing, how you're playing or how you're teasing me or how you're doing whatever it is, touching me, doesn't feel good. It makes me feel unsafe. It makes me feel scared. It makes me feel less than. And they may or may not be able to connect with that. But when you say to them, when you feel insecure or when you feel unsafe or when you feel less than, who do you talk to? And then I think the other thing that you should do right away is you say, I'm going to leave now because I don't like the way this feels. And if you want to talk later, if you want to, we'll talk one-on-one, because I have no interest in talking to, your little band of knuckleheads. But I'd be the person that'd be willing to listen. Now, other thing that you might consider when you see bullying, okay, because, you're on Facebook, so obviously we're grown-ups. If you see bullying, are you stopping it? Are you stepping in? And are you talking to these people that are doing that behavior and said, hey, have you noticed that the person that you're picking on isn't enjoying themselves? Have you really noticed that? Are they quiet? Are they trying to get away from you and you're preventing that? And if you didn't have your little crowd of buddies or girlfriends right there, would you be acting like this? So this is going to be my short video, and I want you to think about what our actions are and how they affect other people. How do our thoughts affect other people? Are they having as much fun as you're having? Can you feel a reciprocal flow of energy when you're playing with somebody or teasing with someone? Because you might be bullying them and not know it. So take some time to think about that, and I'll post that, and I'll post the link on the single channel flirting so that you can do those exercises and really, really get a feel for what you're trying to accomplish. Because I don't believe that you're trying to hurt someone. I don't believe that you're trying to make someone purposely feel bad. I think that you're reaching out and trying to have a deeper connection. Now, the other thing that I want you to consider is I'd appreciate comments on this video. I think that this is really important, and we're going to be out there in the world very soon. And I'm hoping that when we come out on the other side, that maybe, just maybe, that we come out as better people. Please feel free to send me an email or a private message. Okay, and I got a couple of things to talk about. I do have a new book for you to read that I'm just finishing. It's called The Like Switch, and it was written by a gentleman by the name of Jack Schaefer. He's a former behavioral scientist for the FBI, and he's now retired. And the short version of this book is, how'd you like to be able to deliberately send the nonverbal messages to create friendships and business connections, as well as improve your existing relationship? It's a really quick read, and it's got some cool tools in it, and I'll post a link to it. And then finally, I'm starting a new book. I run a book club called Powerful Integrated People, and we're just finishing up one book. And in 2 weeks, a week from Saturday, we are going to begin a book that was written by Dr. Robert Glover called Dating Essentials. And it's skewed toward men, but I believe that those dating essentials are relevant for anyone in the dating world. I also believe that it's relevant, these same skills would come in useful if you are in an existing relationship, if you're in a former relationship and you want to improve those relations, if you choose. And this is a private group and book club. So if you want more information, you're going to need to send me a message. I will be making this group public this fall, but right now I'm testing out the books that I want to use for this process. And I keep like finding different books that I think that are better and more relevant for who we are and hopefully who we're becoming. So I will talk to you soon, and thanks for listening.